Guys doing today? I hope that you're fine and you're having a nice day. So we'll just get on with our lesson for today. So first off, I'm just gonna share my screen. I hope that you can see my screen. First, next thing that you have to do is just click on the aplusstudent.com. You log in using your email and your password. Then you scroll down to your name, click on the grade you're working on, select the chapter, and over to the lesson. Okay, so I'm just gonna move there now. Okay, so as you can see my screen now, I'm already logged in. So all I need to do is just click on my name. Okay, and then maths or language. So we're going with language because we're having language arts, and because we are on grade 2, right? So we just click on grade 2, and then we'll move on to the chapter for today. So the chapter that we're going through with is sentences, fragments, and run-ons. Okay, so you click on the chapter you're working on, and yes. So we have we have four rather. We have four lessons under the sentence, fragments, and run on. And let's see how we can try to finish the four lessons today. Okay, so we'll just start with the first lesson. Okay. Okay, so I hope that you can see my screen clearly. So it says the first lesson is it a complete sentence or a fragment? Is it a complete sentence or a fragment? Now, we need to know the definition of a complete sentence, and we also need to know the definition of a sentence fragment. Okay, so if we do not know the definition of both of them, then we cannot move on with the test. Okay, and then it's just gonna be confusing for you because you do not know what we're talking about. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're just gonna start with the definition of a sentence. So first of all, a sentence is a group of words that form a complete thought. It has both a subject and a verb. So that's the definition of a sentence. Okay, so a sentence is a group of words that form a complete thought. It forms a complete thought. It has both a subject and a verb. So when we say forms a complete thought, it has a subject and a verb. That means that the sentence makes sense. Okay, it actually does make sense. And then the subject is like the main person doing the action in the sentence. And then the verb could be the action going on, what the person is doing. Okay, so my friends walk along the path. My friends walk along the path. So my friends now is the subject because they are the ones walking, and walk is the verb. That's the work is the action going on. That is what they are doing. They are working. So that's why a sentence always forms a complete thought. So forms a complete thought, that means the sentence makes sense. You understand the sentence. There's no grammatical error. There's no mistake in the sentence. That is what a complete sentence is. Now we'll move on to the sentence fragment. A sentence fragment is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. So now it's the total opposite of the complete sentence. It does not express a complete thought. It is usually missing a verb or a subject. Okay? So that's the sentence fragment. The sentence fragment is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. It is either missing a subject or a verb. So now we have some examples for the sentence fragment that would help us understand clearly what we're doing and what we're talking about. Knows the answer. So now if you see this here, knows the answer. Now, if you just come up to someone and then you say knows the answer, does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense because you just said knows the answer. Who knows the answer? The subject is missing because it could be Michael knows the answer, Pearl knows the answer, Mercy knows the answer. Yes, but this one just says knows the answer. That means the subject is missing. So this is an example of the sentence fragments. Something is gonna be missing. So it could either be the subject or it could be what? The verb. So now it is missing a subject because we do not know who knows the answer. So if we want to make that a complete sentence, it could be she knows the answer. Okay? So she knows the answer. It could be me or you. Anybody knows the answer. So he knows the answer, she knows the answer. That makes the sentence complete and correct. It makes it make sense. It makes it not a sentence fragment. Okay? So now we have an example also under the bright red car. So now, if you just say the bright red car, what happens to the bright red car? We have no idea what happens to the bright red car. It just says the bright red car. So that means the verb is missing. We don't know what the bright red car is doing. Is it moving forward, moving backward? Has it stopped? We have no idea what the bright red car is doing. It just says the bright red car. So what happened to the bright red car? What is it doing? Okay, so now that's when you have the bright red car stopped. The bright red car stopped. So to make it a complete sentence, you can just say, oh, the bright red car over there stopped. But if you just say the bright red car, I'm gonna ask you, oh, what happened to it? I have no idea what happened to the bright red car. So that's an example of the sentence fragment missing a verb. Okay, so take notes that the sentence fragment is going to miss a verb or subject. It does not form a complete thought, but a sentence forms a complete thought. It has both the subject and the verb. Okay? All right, so let's move on. We have some example. So, is this a complete sentence? Dark clouds in the sky. Dark clouds in the sky. So now, if you click on dark clouds in the sky as a complete sentence, it is not complete and it is wrong because dark clouds in the sky, like what happened? What happened to it? Hmm. Is it missing anything? Is it a complete sentence? Because you cannot just say dark clouds in the sky. There's definitely something missing in the sentence. So if you can see here, dark clouds in the sky is not a complete sentence. It is missing, it is a sentence fragment. It is missing a verb. So something could have added up to dark clouds in the sky to make it a complete sentence, but we don't have the verb in the sentence. So that means something is missing. So you could say dark clouds in the sky. What happened? A complete sentence, if you can think of any complete sentence with dark clouds in the sky, instead of just saying dark clouds in the sky. Okay? So I do hope that you understand this. We will go on with more examples. So now, likes to play inside. Is this a sentence fragment? Likes to play inside. This is a sentence fragment because it's missing a subject. It just says likes to play inside. Who likes to play inside? So it could be my sister, my friend, my uncle, my auntie, anybody likes to play inside. Okay? So yeah, when you just say likes to play inside, then obviously something is missing. There's just one person in that sentence that is missing. Something is actually wrong with it. Okay? So that's the sentence fragment because it is missing a subject. So yeah, let's move on to the next and see some more examples. A branch broke in the wind. Is it a sentence fragment? A branch broke in the wind. No, it's not a sentence fragment. A branch broke in the wind because it's a complete sentence. You're telling us that a branch from the tree broke during the wind. So yeah, you see that it's complete and it makes sense. Okay? So yeah. The children smiled at the clowns. The children smiled at the clowns. So, is it a sentence fragment? No, because it makes sense. The children smiled at the clowns. So the children, as in the subject, and what are they doing? They are smiling. So it makes good sense. It's correct. It's not a sentence fragment. Okay? So let's move on to the test now. Okay, so we have 30 questions and we'll just answer a few together. Okay? All right. So, which is a sentence fragment? Which is a sentence fragment? Draws a pretty picture. We looked for the kitten. So now we is the subject here. Looked for the kitten. Look is the verb. That is what they are doing. But if you say draws a pretty picture, who's drawing the pretty picture? We have no idea who's drawing that. So that means draws a pretty picture is gonna be the correct answer. Okay. So, which is a complete sentence? Now we need to find the complete sentence here. Pets the carts, pets the two carts. Martin plays with the dolls. Martin's plays with the dolls. So now Martin plays with the doll, pet the two carts. Okay, let's say that we're not sure. We're just gonna pick anything because we're not certain what the answer is. And then we just go ahead and then we click on pet the two carts. So what happened then? It is wrong. Pet the two cards is what it's a sentence fragment. It is missing what the subject. So who is petting the two cats? We have no idea who is doing that. So it's actually missing something. Okay? So when you say pet the two cards, that means something is missing in this sentence. There's something wrong. So if ever you click on something and then you get the answer all wrong, all you need to do is just scroll down, as you can see. Just scroll down, okay? And then you read the tutorials all over again and then you can understand. Okay? So now when you read the tutorials, you get it clear, then you move on with your test, you move on to the next question. Okay? Okay. All right. So now, which is a complete sentence? Mr. Bullock will buy a cake, cups, forks, and spoons. Mr. Bullock will buy a cake, cups, forks, and spoons. Okay. Now, which is a complete sentence because we are looking for the complete sentence, right? So now it says that Mr. Bullock will buy a cake. It makes sense because he's the subject and what is he doing? Buying a cake. So if you click on this, is a complete sentence. But when you say cups, forks, and spoons, what happens to the cups, forks, and spoons? Okay. Okay, so we'll click on this one and we'll move on. All right. So which is a complete sentence here? The bird was brown and black. The bird was brown and black. Okay. The box under the stairs. The box under the stairs. All right, so now what are we saying here? The complete sentence. Is it going to be the box under the stairs or the bird was brown and black? So let's say that you have no idea and you click on this one. You see that it is wrong. Oh, I'm so sorry, it went fast. So the box under the stairs is actually wrong because it's a sentence fragment. So you need something to add up to that sentence. Okay? So now, which is a sentence fragment? Went to school early. Kid puts eggs in a pan. Went to school early. Kids put eggs in a pan. So if you click on kids puts eggs in a pan, it's a complete sentence because Kate is the subject. And then what's she doing? Putting the eggs. Okay? She's putting the eggs. All right? So it could be went to school early because we have no idea who went to school early. Okay? So went to school early. Okay. Now we have this one also. Sentence fragments. Okay. Kathy wants another apple, likes to play inside. So Carty wants another apple is a complete sentence because Carty is the subject and what is she doing? She wants another apple. Okay. Likes to play inside. Likes to play inside is the sentence fragment because we do not know who likes to play inside. It just says likes to play inside. So we don't have any idea who likes to play inside. So this is the sentence fragments. Okay? All right, so that's it. I hope that you can differentiate between the complete sentence or the fragments. Okay, so I'll just move on to the next lesson. Make sure that you finish this lesson. Okay, so yeah, just finish this, and then yeah. So you see that I have a 37 and a 14 just because it's not completed yet. So once it's completed, it's going to show here completed. So you try to finish that and you could get a 98 or 100. Okay. All right. So we'll move here now. Is it a complete sentence or a run-on? So now we are going into is it a complete sentence or a run-on? So now this is the same thing, just the same explanation that we have for the um complete sentence. Okay, so the complete sentence is same. All right, it makes sense and it forms a complete thought. Okay, so it makes sense and it forms a complete thought. It has both a subject and a verb. That is a complete sentence. So take note of that. The only different thing that we're doing here is the run-on. So we just need to find out what the run-on is. Okay, so yeah. Now a run-on sentence is made up of two sentences. A run-on is made up of two sentences that should stand alone. Okay? So now it's made up of two sentences that should stand alone, but they are joined together. That is the run-on sentence. Okay? Now, two sentences that should stand alone that are joined together is a run on. For example, I knocked on the door, it opened. That doesn't make sense because it's two sentences together. It could be I knocked on the door, it opened. That is two sentences. Okay, but a run on comes with two sentences joined together. Okay? Now, to fix a run on sentence, you need to separate it into two sentences. So now add a period after the first sentence and use a capital letter at the beginning of the second letter. Okay? So now, I knocked on the door, it opened. So after I knocked on the door, we need to have a period and then it opened. It opened, it's a new sentence. So the first letter, remember that the first letter of every sentence needs to start with a capital letter. Okay, it needs to start with a capital letter. So it opened is a new sentence on its own. Okay, so yeah. All right, so that's all about it for a run-on sentence. That's all about it for a run-on. I knocked on the door, it opened. So I just want you to take note that a run-on sentence will have two sentences joined together that are meant to be separated. Okay. All right, so yeah, let's see now some more examples. Okay, so which is a run-on sentence? Which one is a run-on sentence? All birds have two wings and a feathers. No, this is not a run-on because it's the complete sentence, right? All birds have two wings and a feathers. So you see that this is not a run-on sentence. This is a complete sentence. Okay. Um. Now look at this one. Our train is here. It's time to go. Our train is here. It's time to go. Now that's a run-on sentence because it's two sentences joined together. You need to separate that and have our train is here, period. It's time to go, another sentence. Okay? So that's all about it for run-on and complete sentence. You know that the complete sentence have sense, makes sense, forms a complete thought, and then the other one is two sentences joined together that does not form a complete sense. Okay? So yeah. All right, so let's try some more. Bob read a book, it was about big matches. So Bob read a book, it was about big machines. Now, this is a run on sentence. It's not a complete sentence because it has two sentences joined together. First is going to be Bob read a book. It has a period. It was about big machines. Yeah, separated. So from the it here, it's supposed to start with a capital letter. That's the I here to make it a different sentence. Okay, so Baba read a book. It was about big machines. So that is what that is. Two sentences joined together, which makes it a run on. Okay. So now the next one is our library closes for holidays. Our library closes for holidays is a complete sentence because our library closes for holidays shows that there's the subject and then there's the verb. So it's a complete sentence, it makes sense and it is correct. Okay? All right. So yeah, now we'll try to see some more examples. Which is a run-on sentence. Dad will wash the baby in warm water. Dad will wash the baby in warm water. Dad will wash the baby in warm water. So that's a complete sentence because it has a subject and then it also has a verb. Okay? All right. So let's move on to the test now. Okay, so now which is a run-on sentence? Which is a run-on sentence? So which of this is a run-on sentence? I clean my room, it takes me 10 minutes. The elephant trunk is long and gray. The elephant's trunk is long and gray. Of course, you can see that I clean my room, it takes me 10 minutes. It's two sentences joined together because you can say I clean my room. It takes me 10 minutes is another part of the sentence. Okay? But then the elephant's trunk is long and gray. That is a complete sentence. Okay? It's which is a complete sentence. Robin and Evan had a picnic in the park. Dinner is ready. We are having chicken. Dinner is ready. We are having chicken. Robin and Evan had a picnic in the park. So Robin and Evan had a picnic in the park is a complete sentence. Dinner is ready. We are having chicken. So you can see dinner is ready is one sentence. We are having chicken. That's another one. So this second one is a run on. But Evan and Robin Robin and Evan had a picnic in the park is a complete sentence. Okay, so now which is a run on sentence? It is dark out, we need a flashlight. The tractor's big wheels rolled through the grass. It's dark out, we need a flashlight. The tractor's big wheels roll through the grass. So now the tractor's big wheels roll through the grass is a complete sentence. Okay, and then it's dark out, we need a flashlight. Okay, so it's dark out. We need a flashlight is what it's a run on because it's dark out. First, that is one sentence. We need a flashlight. That is another one. So you have to separate both of them and put a comma or a period. And yes, it's okay. So which is the complete sentence here now? Now we need to find the complete sentence. Um, Bob read a book. It was about big machines. Our town library closes for most holidays. Okay, so this is it. This one was same with our tutorials. Okay, so now which is a run on here? All birds have two wings and feathers. Our train is here. It's time to go. So let's say that you're not certain and then you just pick one of the answer. Okay, so note that if any of the answer is wrong, all you need to do is just scroll down and it's going to take you to the correct explanation. So let's say that you do not understand or you're getting it all confused and you don't know what to do anymore, and then you get something wrong and you're not sure, all you need to do is just go down and read again. Okay, so I do hope that you understand the differences between the main complete sentence and then the run on sentence. So do not mistake them. Run on sentence is two sentences joined together that should stand alone. A complete sentence makes sense and forms a complete thought. But then sentence fragment is missing something. That's from the past lesson we had. Sentence fragment is missing either a subject or verb. Okay? So now we'll move on to the next lesson. So now the next lesson is complete sentence, fragments, and run on all together. So this is what we did from the past two lessons. Okay. Now Sentence, a complete sentence forms a complete thought. It makes sense. It has both a subject and a verb. That is what we've done here. That is the real definition of a complete sentence. Now, a sentence fragment, just like how I have said it before, it doesn't express a complete thought. It is missing something. It's either missing a subject or a verb. And then the run on sentence now altogether is two sentences together for the run on. Two sentences together that should stand alone, but they are joined together. Okay? It should stand alone, but they are joined together. All right, so we'll move on to the test because we know this. So we'll move into the test. Now, which is a complete sentence? We have to find which is a complete sentence here. We have the two boys always sit in the back seat of the car. It was late. Kenny went to bed. Hmm. Now, which is a complete sentence? The two boys always sit in the back seat of the car. It was late. Kenny went to bed. So, if you look at the next sentence, the second one here, this is a run-on sentence because you have it was late. So, it was late is supposed to be on its own. Kenny went to bed. Kenny went to bed. That's a different sentence, but it's joined together. So that's a run-on. So the first one should be the correct and complete sentence. Now we need to find a sentence fragment. Sentence fragment is the one that is missing either a subject or a verb. The girls and boys from next door. A big apple fell out of the tree. So a big apple fell out of the tree is complete sentence. Then the girls and boys from next door. So you cannot just say the girls and boys from next door. What happened to them? The girls and boys from next door. Yeah, we know. But what's up? What's going on with them? What are they doing? Okay. What are they doing? So yeah. Which is a run on sentence. The library is closing. You must speak out your books now. Ellen parts her hair to one side. Ellen parts her hair to one side. The library is closing. You must pick up your books now. So if you're looking for a run on sentence, the first one is the run on sentence because you said the library is closing. That is one sentence. You must pick out your books now. That is another sentence. So if you're joining those two sentences together, it makes it a run on. So that is actually wrong. Okay. Okay, which is a run on sentence. Clean the dirty shirt and pants with soap. My shoes are missing. I can't find them anywhere. So clean the dirty shirt and pants with soap. And then my shoes are missing. I can't find them anywhere. So let's say that we're just confused. We do not have any idea which one is the run-on sentence here, and then we just decide to pick any one. Okay. So you see that my shoes are missing. That is one sentence on its own. I can't find them anywhere. A period should be in between. Okay, so when you have a period in between, yes, that is a run on sentence. But clean the dirty shirt and pants with soap. That is the complete sentence. It makes sense, right? It's telling you what to do, so it's complete. But my shoes are missing, I can't find them anywhere, then that is what? That's a run on. So I'm gonna still say that once you get it all wrong, all you need to do is just scroll down and read again. You have to read again and make sure that okay, what am I doing or why is it or am I getting it all wrong? Am I confusing it? So if you're confusing them, you just need to read from the beginning all over again to be able to differentiate. Okay? So yeah. So got it. All right. So which one is a run on now? It's asking also for a run on. We will leave on Friday. We will go to Norwood. Nate cleaned the floor with an old rag. So we will leave on Friday. We will go to Norwood. Nate cleaned the floor with an old rag. So you see, now which one of these is the runner? Of course, it's the first one because it's telling us that we will leave on Friday. So if you're leaving on Friday, yes, that is one part of the sentence. And then we will go to Norwood. So the W there in we should start with a capital letter because you know that the first letter of every sentence begins with a big letter, capital letter, and not a small letter. So when you're fixing the run on, this we here, the W should be the big letter. Okay. All right, so I hope that you can differentiate and you can try to finish up this particular lesson with the run on sentence fragment and complete sentence. So you have about 25 questions left for this one. All you need to do is just get it all done. Okay? Yes. And then we'll move on to the last lesson for this chapter. So now this is it. You see that it's 4014. So once you're done, it's gonna show completed. Look at this one. We haven't started and it says not started. So once you're done, it shows complete. So you need to just finish these three lessons up above and then we will just move on to this one. Alright, so yeah. Now this one says that unscramble the words to make a complete sentence. Unscramble. So when they say unscramble, what are you gonna do? How do you unscramble? How do you unscramble? Or what do you do when you unscramble? So you just have to find the words that is gonna make up a complete sentence. Okay. So now this part says that a sentence has a naming part and an action part. It tells a complete thought. So once you have a sentence, okay, it tells you the naming part and it tells you the action. The naming part is the person. Naming part is the person that is doing the action. Naming part is the subject, and then action part is the action going on. Okay? Okay. So now my brother jumps in the pool. I play outside every morning. So naming part could be my brother, and then I could be also the naming part. Then action part jumps in the pool. Action jumps. When you're jumping, that's the action going on. Play outside. So play action. Okay. All right. So now a sentence starts with a capital letter. It ends with a period or another end mark. Okay, so now a sentence starts with a capital letter, it ends with a period or another end mark. Okay, so you can see here that the beginning of a sentence starts with a capital letter. Like I've said sometime during the lesson, when you are having or writing a sentence, the first letter should begin with a capital letter. You cannot begin a sentence with a small letter. Once you begin with a small letter, it makes it incorrect. It makes your sentence wrong. And then it could end with a period after you're done with the sentence, done making the sentence. Okay? Or another end mark. It could be a question mark, it could also be like an exclamation. It just depends. All right. So a complete sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a period. That's what you should take note of. It starts with a capital letter and then it ends with a period. So put lunch first and put yummy last. So look at it here. Put the words in order to make a complete sentence. So this is what you will be doing later on in the test. You have to put these words together, right? To make a complete sentence. So now lunch there, the L is in capital letters, so you know that the lunch should be at the beginning. So lunch was yummy. So lunch now is the naming part, and then the action part is words yummy. put them together, then you make a sentence. And when you're putting them together, you just need to remove the comma there, because when you remove the comma, it makes them a complete sentence. So lunch was yummy. Okay, so that's it. So blow bubbles we. Blow bubbles we. All right. So now we should be the first letter of the sentence, because we is in capital letter. So it could be we blow bubbles. So we is the naming part, and then the action. What are we doing? We are blowing bubbles. So we blow bubbles. Okay. All right. So now the closed doors. The closed doors. So now when you want to rephrase this or make this a complete sentence, you can say the doors closed. So now the doors is the naming part, and then action part is closed. So like I said, a complete sentence has a naming part and an action part. It starts with a capital letter and then it ends with a period or any other end mark. So yeah. Okay, let's move on to the test. All right, so we have 15 questions here. We're gonna do 10 together, and sorry, we'll do 5 together, and then I'll let you finish up the 10. Okay? So put the words in order to make a complete sentence. Mart upset looks. Mart upset looks. Mart upset looks. So Mart looks upset. Upset Mart looks. So Mart should be the first because it has the capital letter. So it's gonna be Mart looks upset. So when you say Mart looks upset, then the sentence makes sense. It's a complete sentence. Okay. Now birds are penguins. Now birds, penguins. So now what are we gonna do? Which one is gonna be first? You're gonna look for the one with the capital letter first, and then yeah, that's how you make your sentence. Close the door. Close door. Day. So now this was also in the tutorials, but should in case you eventually pick the wrong answer, if ever you pick a wrong answer, oh I'm so sorry. So let's just say that we pick a wrong answer. All you need to do is just scroll down. You see that? You pick a wrong answer, you're not sure of your answer, you just scroll down. It's going to take you all over again to what? To the explanation, the tutorial. So all you need to do is just read it again, read it till you understand clearly, and then you can go on with your test. So now I picked yummy lunch words. So yummy lunch words cannot form a complete thought or complete sentence, because first of all, yummy cannot be the first part of a sentence. Yummy is in small letters. So and we have lunch there. Lunch is in capital letters, so lunch is the perfect answer. Okay. All right. So now, slow donkeys. Slow donkeys. Slow donkeys. So donkeys are slow because D is in capital letters, so it should be the first. So donkeys are slow. That's what you should have. Donkeys are slow. Okay. All right. So this one now is also the same with our tutorials, and it says bubbles blow we, so we blow bubbles. Okay. So now that's how you unscramble the words to like make a complete sentence. So I do hope that you understand this particular chapter that we went through, because we went through like the is it a complete sentence or fragments, run on, fragments and run on with complete sentences, and then we have the unscramble words to make a complete sentence. Okay, so we've gone through these 4 lessons today, and it all shows in progress for me because I didn't complete them. So once you complete them, it's going to show you completed, and you would have a 98 or 100 here. Okay, so I do hope that you understand this, and If ever you have any question, all you need to do is just go back to the tutorials, read the tutorials clearly, and once you read the tutorials clearly, you're gonna understand that. Okay, so I do hope that you understand everything I said today. Do have a great evening and see you next time. Bye.